Good afternoon. Captain Justin DeLeon here from the University of Iowa, APMS here at Iowa, and also the MS3 instructor. Today we're going to continue talking about op orders, and specifically we're going to talk about paragraph 2, the mission paragraph, or the mission statement. Our main reference for today is going to be the Ranger Handbook, TC 3-21.76, April 2017. So, the mission statement, a lot of times we can overlook this and believe that it's the easiest statement to write, it's the simplest one, write it down real fast, no big deal. But I want to kind of dive into it real fast and talk about each tenet of the mission statement and why each tenet is so important. The biggest thing about the mission statement is that it is the most important part of your op order. Okay? I know that in the execution paragraph, which we'll get to, there's a lot of details of how we're going to do things, what our roles are, what we're supposed to do in different contingencies of the operation, but the mission statement is what we must get across. All right? It's those 5 W's that, hey, no matter what, as long as I know those 5 W's and I know those specifics, I can accomplish the mission. I can meet the commander's intent. And that's why we need to drive home this mission statement so hard to our subordinates. Okay? So again, let's talk about the mission statement, paragraph 2. So the way I easily like to write this down is, like I said earlier, there's the 5 W's. And these are the 5 W's that this answers. All right, so we got who, what, where, when, and why. And typically when I'm receiving an operations order, this is how I have an operation order, my op order shell ready to go, and this is how I'll write it in my mission statement. And I'll write it in as I'm being briefed. Right? And it's an easy way to get it. Okay? So the first thing is who. Who is this mission applying to? All right? If you're a PL, it's going to be your platoon. If you're a squad leader, it's going to be your squad. So for this instance, let's say that we are first squad. All right. So who? It's going to be first squad. All right. What? What type of mission are they doing? All right. And as we go into here, these are going to be specific tasks. Okay. We can't just come up, hey, they're going to be doing some crazy, description of an event. We need to make sure that it's an doctrinal task. All right. So one of the doctrinal tasks that we're going to do is an attack. So first squad conducts an attack or attacks. All right. And we need to know where, when, and why we're doing this. So where, all right, often what we're going to see here is this term where we say in VIC. That is a normal thing that you're going to see, the VIC. All it just means is in vicinity of. Okay, it means that we believe that this objective or this attack should be around this grid coordinate. But you still need to confirm, and the way we'll confirm it is that first part of our leader's recon when we pinpoint the objective. That's always the first step of the leader's recon because we think it's at this location, but we don't absolutely know. So vicinity, all right, we'll give our grid, Echo Golf, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we all know where to go, okay? We need to know when we have to hit this objective, all right? We need to know when we have to hit it. Now there's 2 ways we typically see this. A lot of times we see a NLT, all right? If you see that, it stands for no later than. So we're going to give you a backstop. We're going to say, hey, if it's no later than 2000, 2000 is the final time that you can initiate your attack on this objective. However, does it mean you can start at 1900 or 1800? Yes, it does. All right? The whole point is that it must be complete, though, by this time, or it must be initiated by this time. Another one you're going to see a lot is no earlier than, or NET. Okay? And that's just the opposite. A lot of times we got to remember that we are fitting into a larger operation that's likely going on. If we're doing a squad attack, our platoon probably has a much larger mission that's fitting into our company's mission. So we need to make sure that we're understanding if it's a no later than or no earlier than, because if we conduct our attack too early, okay, it might upset or it might have a negative effect on the overall operation as a whole. So That's also something that you might see as well, okay? Going into the why. The why, you're always going to see it start out with an IOT. IOT. And that stands for in order to. Okay? And then this is where we hammer home the purpose of the mission. All right? This is where we hammer home the purpose. And it might be something here in order to seize, in order to deny, but we'll put in order to seize key terrain. Seize key terrain, okay? There's lots of different purposes that we can use. But this is how we overall put our mission statement. This is how we organize it. And we ensure that we have all 5 W's. And it reads something like, first squad conducts a squad attack in vicinity of Echo Golf 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no later than 2000, in order to seize key terrain. Simple, all right? We might add something on the end here, in order to seize key terrain and deny enemy free maneuvering zone. But we want to drive home what that purpose is. We're trying to seize this terrain. All right? And so when we're looking at the mission statement, again, it is very simple, but it should be one sentence. The mission statement should be one sentence. A lot of times, or a mission paragraph as well, I see missions drag on and on and on, and someone's trying to explain a little bit more in detail of what their mission is and what they're trying to do. We don't want to do that. It needs to be succinct and clear. All right? It should be one sentence. If your mission statement is longer than one sentence, you are wrong. One other thing I wanted to bring up is we kind of get lost sometimes in the mission statement, and I really like to drive home with my cadets explaining which part of this is the most important. What here is extremely important? What do we need to accomplish? All right? A lot of times when I ask my cadets which part of this is so important, they're going to say attacks. Say, well, we need to know what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to do an attack. And while that might be the case, yeah, it is important to know that we need to do an attack, and that's our operation. Is it really the most important? My argument, and what we'll see as we go into the execution paragraph, where we're going to hammer home the commander's intent, we're going to hammer home the end state, we're really going to hammer home the why of this operation. This is going to be the most important part of our operation, is the why. Okay? That is the most important part. Let's say we were doing a squad ambush. Let's change this real fast. Let's say we were doing a squad ambush, and our job is to protect 2nd Platoon's right flank. Okay? So we have a key part now. We understand how we fit in this operation. So who? 1st Squad. Say 1st Platoon conducts a point ambush. We'll say on objective gold, we'll say it's a defined area. No later than 0400 in order to protect 2nd Platoon right flank. So the point I'm going to drive home here is we'll say 1st Platoon, 1st Squad conducts a point ambush on objective gold, no later than 0400, in order to protect 2nd Platoon's right flank. All right, that's very specific. When it comes down to it, what is the goal of this mission? The goal is that the right flank of 2nd Platoon is protected. Okay? Let's say we find a target opportunity. Let's say someone is moving down the road to us. We're set up in an ambush, and they stop, and they move into the wood line, and they decide to hold up for the night. Let's say our squad decides to do a quick attack or a quick raid of some sort, destroy that element, and then move back into our ambush site. All right? Now, I'm not sure if that would be the tactical correct answer to do in that situation. Obviously, you'd have to make the decision on the ground. But the point is you're still protecting that right flank. You may have not conducted an ambush, you may have done something else, but you're still achieving your purpose. You're still achieving the why. And that's what I'm trying to drive home is that's why this why is the most important part. As long as we do this, we're accomplishing our mission. All right, thanks for tuning in. I know the mission statement looks very simple, but I kind of want to drive home a few of those key points. I hope you learned something. Again, this is Captain De Leon, University of Iowa. Rangers lead the way.